Awesome. Norman Taylor, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so this month we are spending our time, and we have been, this is our fourth talk? Yeah. Wow. 5 Sundays. This is our 4th talk in the Bridge Across Time. And in this time that we have been celebrating and commemorating our own personal growth and expansion in the here and now, but we've been celebrating the past. We've been recognizing how important it is to be present in this now moment, and we've been talking about the future a little bit. So last week, we explored the power of the present moment awareness to more fully experience the astonishing light of our own being. Did you know you were an astonishing light?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Good. We have to remind ourselves. Sometimes we might forget. Okay, and to quote, and that was we quoted poet Hafiz, and that was what he had said about our celebrating our astonishing light, recognizing. So I want to begin where we left off last Sunday. It's really kind of like part 2 of the series, but to let you, keep you up to speed on it, I left you last week with a poem by the poet Anonymous, and it's called I Am. There's a few copies on the back that I left because Priscilla inspired me, so I gave one to her, but I printed up 20 copies, so if you'd like one, just to remind yourself. And it goes like this: I am regretting the past, fearing the future. Then suddenly my Lord was speaking. My name is I Am. God paused. I waited. God continued. When you live in the past with its mistakes and regrets, it is hard. I am not there. My name is not I was. When you live in the future with your problems and fears, it is hard. I am not there. My name is not I will be. But when you live in this moment, it is not hard. I am here because my name is I Am. So we've heard, I think many of us, that the I Am, those 2 words are the most powerful 2 words that we can speak of. I am. I am that which the divine is. I am. I exist because the divine exists. So today, as we explore the deepest acceptance of the day, of this moment, right here, right now, we find that this is, and it is the only place that our joy can be. It can't be in the future. It can't be in the present. We can only really feel emotions in the present moment. That's why it is so key to keep bringing ourselves back when our mind, our thoughts, what was it that, I wrote down this wonderful thought that I had, actually, because everything's thoughts, right? Except everything's consciousness. That's from our class on Thursday night, The Untethered Soul, that it's not, no, I don't know what it was. But anyway, I'll read it next week. It's not our thoughts that are harmful, it is the fact that we believe them, that is. There you go. So I often share these notes from the universe. I don't know if you get them. They come through every day on the internet. They're wonderful. Yeah, they're wonderful. So here's another one that I thought was appropriate for today's talk, because it always addresses you by your name. So think of your name as I say Margaret. Margaret, all of the wonderful places you'll go, all of the happy times you'll have, and all of the adventures that now call unto you, each will be enhanced and will more quickly come to pass with your absolute immersion into days, places, times, and adventure. Don't you just love having so much control? Tally-ho, the universe. Because it's wonderful. Just go on. If you have a computer and you'd like to get these notes every day, they're really wonderful because they address you personally. But it's a great idea. All the wonderful places you'll go, all the happy times you'll have, all the adventures that now call you will be enhanced and will more quickly come to pass when you are absolutely, totally, fully present in today's places, today's times, and today's adventures. So to live really in the moment, it really, truly, I mean, we can't say it enough, but we forget. And we go off into the future with worry and fear, or we bring that old past stuff up that's full of regret and old stuff. But to be fully, and when are we doing it all though? We're doing it all in this now moment, so we're creating more of that which we fear. So it's to be present. To be present right now and enjoying what is taking place now. Yeah, you plan for the future, and you plan with joy. You put it in your phone if you're like me, but you put it on your calendar, and then you let it be. And you go back to living today and all the great adventures that you have and that the universe has in store for you. So I said it in another way. When you are living in the deepest acceptance of this day, right here, right now, all is truly well. All is well. And there's so many different affirmations that we can, and we'll address other stuff, that we can really use in this now moment when it might feel challenging. Scripture tells us, this is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. It is a power affirmation. It's a powerful affirmation that we rejoice in this day. The Lord has made this day. It's perfect. And it's not. It doesn't say, hey, come on, let's rejoice. Let's give it a try if it's not too much effort. It doesn't say, let's do everything that it is lining up just perfectly the way we want it to. Just exactly to our liking. No, we rejoice in the day with everything that is in it. It is part of our life's journey. We are living a life, and so it's not always smooth. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
But we're going to rejoice in it. And that takes this quote to a whole new level, because I'm going to change a word in it. Today is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice in it. And then to take it to a higher level, let's adjust it slightly and say, today is the day the Lord has made, and I now rejoice in it. I think we all need to say that.
Yes.
Let's say it together. Today is the day the Lord has made, and I now rejoice in it. And so it is. Yes. So listen to the poetic way of rejoicing in the day that the Lord has made from a daily quote. And this is a lovely, I found this beautiful reading that I think speaks to this whole concept of limitless possibilities that abound in the now moment. And this is from Gaia Wellness, and it's entitled Possibilities Abound. So listen to this, it's so pretty. Sunlight drops its golden paint on the quiet surface of a mountain stream, and a new day is born. What a shame it would be to let this day pass without putting fresh goodness into it. From rocky ledges to cool valleys, in the countryside and in the cities across the globe, possibilities abound. Life is here to be lived, and now is the time to live it. Like water swiftly flowing, the opportunities of this day will soon be nothing more than memories. Now is your one and only chance to make them positive, satisfying memories by making full use of the opportunities. Now is your choice to make new value where none existed before. Now, when you are inspired to let go of the excuses and to cast off any thought of procrastination is when you can act. And it continues, though the challenges may seem great and the circumstances may appear to be less than perfect, today's possibilities beg you to seize them. To the extent you do, your life and your world will benefit. This is your day to do with what you can, and you can indeed do much. If you will say to life, to the possibilities that abound, and now get going. And I want to return to one line from that to offer a perspective. Though the challenges may seem great and the circumstances may appear to be less than perfect. And so I want to show an illustration about that from a colleague who has a New Thought church in California. This was a really nice little story. I thought it would just put everything into context. And so in his congregation, there was a person who had a music ministry. And he was a former producer of a pretty famous jazz musician. The minister had gotten to know this young man pretty well because they worked together closely doing the church music. The congregant shared with the minister a mantra he lives by and said it saved his sanity more than once when he was working with other musicians, probably you would understand, and experienced the challenges of frequent changes and the stress of live performances, the sometimes difficulty of working with a bunch of musicians, all of whom had their own strong opinions of what sounded correct. Yes. Norman can relate.
Oh, yes, I can.
Regardless of the challenges that appear to be great or the circumstances which appear to be less than perfect, he developed this practice. It's all going to work out. This is his mantra. And we all really, it serves us to have some kind of mantra over and over again. His was, it always works out. It always works out. And really, when you think about life, it always works out. It is what it is. And it's going to work out. So he was a stay-at-home, to bring this home even more, he was a stay-at-home parent. And he had a very verbal 2-year-old son. And this little boy heard his dad say this over and over again. It always works out. And 2-year-olds, they love to, attach themselves to little phrases. So this little guy likes to take his daily walks in a stroller with his dad to visit the neighbors. And in particularly, he liked to visit this one neighbor, Nellie. So the other day, as he and his dad were out in the stroller, this little boy says, remember he's 2 years old, let's go visit Nellie. Dad said, well, son, we can try, but I'm not sure she's going to be at home right now. But he calmly replied, Nellie's always home. Isn't that the concept of it all works out? Nellie's always home. Dad actually tried to talk his son out of this because he didn't want him disappointed. And the fact is, she wasn't always home, but the little 2-year-old didn't want to hear this. He wasn't sure. He wasn't sure, the dad, if she would be home. But it was to no avail. The little boy insisted, Nellie is always home, and he wanted to go visit her. So they went to her house, and sure enough, Nellie was not home. And what do you suppose he did, the little 2-year-old? These are our teachers. a lot of little ones would start to throw a fit. But that's not what he did. That's not what he did. And a lot of us, don't we throw a fit when we don't get what we want? When we want it? Exactly how we want it? The way it's supposed to be, we think. Well, he didn't do that. Not this 2-year-old. Rather, he said with complete calm in his voice, "That's okay. She's just out for a while, but she's always home." Nothing could shake it, so he wasn't uncomfortable or upset. They continued their walk happy as he accepted it. It will all work out. The master teacher Jesus said that in order to enter the kingdom of heaven, we must become as little children. That beautiful innocence, it's such a gift to observe it. It truly is. So there was much for us to learn from this little guy. First, he has the attitude that Nellie is always home, despite appearances. Despite appearances. He saw beyond appearances. Even in the face of solid evidence to the contrary. He just knows she's always home. And if the current moment doesn't jive with his knowing, then he adjusts his attitude. Adjusts his attitude a bit. Isn't that nice? Yes. Let's sometimes adjust our attitude. It might help us just so we can be at peace. Because we have these insane conversations with ourselves and argue all within our own mind about this whole thing of how something should look, and we can't let go of it. When it is what it is. But that's not going to satisfy us. We're throwing a temper tantrum, not this 2-year-old. In comparison, do we have the attitude that God is always home in our lives? Do we truly believe that? God is always home within us. Do we have a deep knowing, a rock-solid faith that the universe always supports us? Do we really believe that? That everything is, one of my affirmations, in divine right order, no matter what it is. Because there's so much more beyond this lifetime. So much more. And there's so much in this lifetime. Right now, we can move into knowing that it is true. Our reaction to the appearance might be contrary, but we can bring ourselves back with a strong affirmation, just to be at peace, just to be at peace. Our equivalent of "she's just out for a while" would be a knowing that despite the appearance in this moment, all is working out for our highest and very best good. All is working out. When we bring that idea that all is working out to this present moment, we have a greater acceptance of this moment and that space. And in that space, in that moment space, our joy is revealed and our ability to create even more joy is available to us. We don't shut it down. As in that class on Thursday night, we learn to keep our hearts open even to the challenges. We try not to continuously close it down for self-protection. We leave it open to accept and to know that there is a higher good that's always occurring in our lives. So there's a story told about a woman Zen master. Her name was Sono. She taught one very simple method of enlightenment. She advised everyone who came to her, and they came to her from all over the globe. And so this is our second mantra for the day. The first one is "it always works out," and this one, no matter who came to her, under all conditions, she said, every and all conditions, the mantra was simply this: "Thank you for everything. I have no complaints whatsoever." Wow. Can we do that? Yeah. Thank you for everything. I have no complaints whatsoever. So many people came to her from all arenas of life. They came for healing, physical healing. They were in pain, physical pain. Others were emotional distraught. Others had financial issues. And some were seeking just true, free soul liberation. No matter what their distress or what question they asked her, her response was always the same. It never changed. It was always the same. And she would say, in all those conditions, say over and over again, thank you for everything. I have no complaints whatsoever. Some people went away disappointed. You know, they came here for enlightenment. They wanted everything changed. Others grew angry. Others tried to argue with her. Yet some people took her suggestion to heart and they began to practice it. Tradition tells us that everyone who practiced Sono's mantra found peace and healing. Thank you for everything. I have no complaints whatsoever. How many times do we complain? I have to get everyone, including myself, one of those bracelets where we snap, or a rubber band, and we snap it every time we complain. I would have black and blues all over my arm if I... But it reminds us. How many times do we unconsciously, really, complain about something? It's too hot out. Oh, it's going to rain out. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. She's not listening. I mean, it's constant. It's constant. I have no complaints whatsoever. So Wallace Wattles, and that's from our Tuesday night class. Wallace Wattles in The Science of Getting Rich. And this is on page 113 if you have the book. He wrote this: never allow yourself to feel disappointed. You may expect to have a certain thing at a certain time and not get it at that time. And this will appear to you like failure. But if you hold your faith, you will find that the failure is only apparent. Go on in the certain way, and if you do not receive that thing, you will receive something so much better that you will see that the seeming failure was really a great success. How many times in our life has that taken place? There had to be this one thing, this one relationship, this one house, this one place, this one job. When it didn't happen, and something better came along. So let's end today's talk then by let's start where we began. And I told you, there's some few printouts of the I Am for you to take home if you like. So one more time, at the great I Am presence, this is where we're going to end the talk as we started it. You are already, do you know, you are already totally aligned with divine good. You are already aligned with divine good. This is the truth. And you are by simply proclaiming, I am. I am. That's all you have to say. I am. I am that which is. The eternal light of God itself. Right now, I invite you to take a moment or pause, even close your eyes if you want, just for a moment. Take a breath and declare within yourself, I am. The I am, that is the true nature of yourself, is all love, all joy, all wisdom, all peace, providence, grace, all magnificence. And it is beyond, way beyond, all appearances of challenges. Inviting that I am into your life brings forth a new joy in this very moment, this very day, and the next day, and the next day. I declare in this present moment that all is truly well. I have no complaints whatsoever. And then day by day, you will see God working in, through, and as you more clearly. You will love life more dearly. And you will align with your highest and best more dearly. This will happen day by day as you move into the deepest acceptance of this day, this moment, right here, right now. This is the day the Lord has made. And so it is.
And so it is.